Talk and Substance here on RJR 94 FM on the Hotline, where the truth comes to live and the lies come to die. I have online here President of the West Indies Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Reverend Dereck Bignal, giving me some clarity in regard to what is the stance of the church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, in regard to police personnel who are rostered or were expected to work on the Sabbath. And just to say it to you, in case you might have missed it, that the stated position coming from Reverend Bignal is that those who are rostered to work, and it's normal and expected that you should work if you are a member of the constabulary and all of those other essential organizations. Fine. That is quite clear. I'm going to go back to Reverend Bignal. So did I accurately represent you, sir?
Yes, of course.
Yes. All right. So then, we do know that this issue was ignited by a comment that the commissioner made in regard to a query coming from a member of the constabulary about the rescheduling of an examination, right, to facilitate people who were Sabbath worshippers. Now, what would be the issue anyway?
Doing an examination. Doing an examination is not something of it that essential. And we in Jamaica have passed that long time. As a nation, as a people, we have passed doing examination as a requirement, a law that cannot be changed. Long time. From students wanted to sit over what we would call Cambridge examination and GCE and even at the University of the West Indies. Even at the University of the West Indies, we had Seventh-day Adventists who, if they never did or attended examinations or classes on Saturdays, they'd have to drop the course. We have passed that. Even in the police force, we have passed that long time that you are compelled. That kind of draconian attitude and we have passed that. So to bring us back into that kind of a thing, and I think it was so distasteful that one person has overstepped the constitution of the land of Jamaica and an international law for human rights and freedom of worship. To even, I think it was distasteful for that one even to say, dictate careers people should stay away from, because for to take an examination, listen, that does not have to be that day, and other times could be said. So in my head, I wanted to know, upon this simple issue, what's the motive? What was the commissioner? What influence was he under? Was he just exuberant, or what was he angry or jealous? What's the real underlying thing? Because we have passed that kind of attitude towards exam setting, and people have got exemption and other dates to do examination and so forth. So it's a nice, fair, easy question. Could be done on any other day at any other time. We have always had that for many years, So I thought it was really rather strange for this and to be stretched further into a kind of character as if get another career. Leaders must not speak to citizens like that. Years ago, one leader got up and said 5 flights a day to Miami. You don't speak to your citizens like this. Listen, people in leadership need to treat the common folk with much more respect. And it is very sad, and I feel very sad that at this height of leadership, our people serving the country are spoken of. I call it disdain. It may not be disdain, but I call it disdain.
I heard you, sir. But there are two things that you said.
Yeah.
You talked about discrimination, right? And you talk about a right, a human right coming from out of, say, our Constitution, etc. How does the privileging of some people by having an examination set at a time that is convenient for that person or those persons, how does that become a fundamental human right, as opposed to because in such a case you're asking for something that the average person doesn't get?
Oh, which average? Listen, well, I don't know.
No, I'm saying to you, would it be a matter of discrimination if an examination is to be set at a time, and then the time is inconvenient for somebody's religion, and then it becomes and then the organization or the employer refuses to change that in order to accommodate? Why would it then be discrimination?
As long as it can be done another time, as long as that can be accommodated, you accommodate.
You said no. Just a second. Hold on a second. I'm saying. Let me make this clear.
Yeah.
I'm a humanist.
Yeah.
And I do understand the. Most of my years dealing with negotiations, etc. So, I know there are cases when you have a right, and then you are willing to make some compromises, whether you're an employer or worker. Or there are times when you don't have a right, but you're seeking to establish a right, and you negotiate. And in any event, if you're going to work in a situation where you are dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, it is best that you come up with solutions which are mutually agreed upon. I understand that. I understand also that there are certain approaches to speaking to people, right? That I'm not necessarily a fan of the commissioner's style of speaking, but that's his own style and his own style of management. And people succeed or fail as a consequence of their style of management and communication. For me, though, the question that I'm asking you is, why is it an issue of a right as opposed to a privilege?
Why is it a right?
Yes.
Rather than a privilege?
Yes.
Because of my citizenship.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Citizens, when we say a privilege, it's a kind of condescending way of looking at it. And
it's not there are two distinct issues.
Yeah.
No, there are two distinct things.
Let me tell you this. There was a time when education was not a right,
No,
you know what?
Education was a privilege.
Education was always a right, but it was given like a privilege.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Well, it's the same attitude right here now.
I don't think you're not giving me clarity to it.
Yes, it's the same kind. It's the same kind of condescension.
You're not giving me clarity, so Mr. Reverend Bignal.
Yes.
Seriously, you're not.
Well,
I'm saying to you because
one can look at it.
A right is something that you are entitled to.
Yeah.
Right? It's entitled to.
Definitely.
Why? I'm asking you then, what is it that would entitle me to say to my employer, you need to give me something.
Okay.
Right? You need to give me something that is not normally given to me contractually.
Because in Jamaica, it seems as if some of us don't have what they call inalienable rights.
Coming now?
It's something inside of us. And we have come as a people for a long time, and we have not really come over that hurdle. That rights are given to certain people. Privileges are given to others. And we have not yet come on that we are all equal
If we are all equal, that's the whole point then, sir.
We have not come.
If we are, so that's the whole
people.
Mr. Reverend Bignall, that's the point.
Yes.
If we are all equal, why is it that the Seventh-day Adventists want to be specially treated? That's the argument.
That's not specially treated.
But of course, you want to move an examination to...
I want to tell you something.
You want me to say... No, you are saying to me now that I must set an examination at a time that is convenient for a minority of the members simply because that's what they want.
And you hear your word now.
I don't want to...
You hear your word,
yes.
minority. And here is where I'm talking about. That there are some people who are in themselves majority,
yes,
and there are some of us who are minority. We must look at people for their values. And as Jamaicans, we have not perhaps been looking at people for who they are